All right, welcome back. Today we're going to do a mock-up of our winter setup. It's going to be a test run. So we're going to do a kind of a redneck setup where we have like a stove box, but it's like all homemade and stuff. And we are going to stuff the stovepipe out of this window here because I don't want to do a hole here if I'm not 100% sure of what I want to do. Also, we are gonna change these tires, and yeah, you'll see what happened with that. And right away, we have to organize the little setup here for the redneck stove we're gonna put up there, homemade stove. So let's remove the cushions here, and let's get going on that. So next here we have like an old stove box, like a DIY homemade little stove that I had in my camping tent. It was a test of sort. It worked pretty good, actually. I'm surprised. We're going to be using that as a temporary test placer to see if the whole thing works. Don't worry, we're going to make it better, and we're going to burn all the galvanized to make sure we don't get poisoned with that. So, I learned quite a while ago that if you take a big piece of garbage and you paint it all black, people are gonna think you do a good job. So let's paint this thing black. And here you go, all in black. It's gonna dry flat though. It's all gonna get flat black. See, I told you when you paint something black, it always looks better right away. Now, we are going to take that piece here that I cut out. We're also gonna remove that. So we're gonna take that piece here that I cut out, and we're gonna put it over the window. Put a pipe, goes there with a 90 outside. All right, so let's address my tire debacle. It's always the small things in life that you think are gonna be easy that end up being a super big nightmare. But when I bought the trailer, there was some really old, I'm surprised I made it home actually. There's some really old, actually car tire on this trailer. And all cracked and chipped, and yeah, I'm really surprised I made it home. I didn't realize it because it's on the inside and not the outside, because I would never have used this on my way home when I bought it. But basically, there was no spare tire, and I don't know if you can see, but this tire, this rim was majorly damaged, and it's really wobbly like this. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go out, pick some trailer tires online and stuff them on, right? It's 13 inch. They're 5x4.5, which is fairly classic bolt pattern. So I go and buy just a regular trailer tire, regular size, you know. What could possibly go wrong? It's a tire, it's a rim, it's a rim. Oh, I guess I'm new to this, but these old little camper were made super efficient in space and size and everything, and they used offset rims. I guess it was classic in those years in the 60s to have offset rims for trailer, because then you could have a brake drum, like a brake. This one doesn't have brake, but on a bigger trailer you could have a brake drum and it would come flush. So basically what I mean by offset is, where's my measuring tape here? If you take a straight edge, drop it on the side of the rim like this, and you measure with one hand, measure the depth here. We have 3.5 to the bottom of the straight edge, and then on my Marvelous, tire trailer tire, we have 3. You're like, oh, but that's not too bad. It's not too bad until you realize that's pushing the tire outward, and then that space being so freaking tight, it rubs. It doesn't even come close to coming in it rubs. So I'm like, how much of a problem can it be? I'll just go online, marketplace, whatever, and find some used tires that someone had on another camper. And that's where the problem began. I've been looking for a whole week. There was absolutely nothing. And I'm supposed to leave in a few days, and I couldn't find anything, and I was freaking out. And then you're like, well, just go to the tire shop and get the tire change. This rim is absolutely crooked. I don't want to use it, and I don't have a spare. So I'm like, let's buy 2 tires, and then the other rim on the other side would be my spare. Even if it's an old tire, it'll be good for a spare. But that doesn't work, and I can't find. Actually, I was able to find online brand new ones, but I live in Canada, so when you ship to Canada, it was like $300 shipping for 2 rims. It was ridiculous. So I was scratching my head going nuts over this, because as I told you earlier, my plan is to lift this trailer and put some bigger tires. So I don't want to have 13-inch. I don't want to buy brand new 13-inch. I just wanted to buy something cheap for that one maiden voyage to see. It's a test voyage, so to see if I like it or not. So anyway, in the end, I was looking online at old, what do you call it? Homemade trailer, because usually they made them with old camper trailer, and I found a guy who was actually selling an axle with 2 tires on it, with 2 rims, 13-inch. So that's gonna fit. I know they're car tires, but it's only one trip, and this trailer is so light. I think it's like 1,000 pounds. So that's gonna do the trick. And well, I guess I'm gonna have a couple of old tires as spares at least. So yeah, we're gonna put those on. They fit all right. They're not too cracked. They seem all right. But I had to buy a whole full axle that came with the 2 tires. The guy was like, oh, I'm selling an axle. He didn't know the tires were on it or anything. But I got myself some rims. They're pretty nice, and they're straight. So yeah, how to lose a freaking week trying to find tires in order to save yourself from buying new tires because you want to put bigger tires in the future. I'm going crazy over here. All right, let's put these on. I have already checked out the bearings, greased them up, repacked, put those on, and do the other side, and then I think we're gonna be off to go. All right, so the mock-up of the redneck stove box is complete. I've routed the pipe through the window and put a shield. Of course, you can see I did the hole way too big to start. Anyway, that's gonna work for now. If you ever paint black a stove, you might want to light it up before you install it, because that thing was smoking. I did it last night. I did a test run last night. It didn't come out too good in the video, so I didn't put it in there. But of course, I forgot to paint the handle. Everything's black except the handle that I put on later. And you can tell, a bunch of ashes. That's my stove box. I left a really high top to the stove box so it doesn't smoke as much when you open the door. That works out fairly good. And I'll show you the stovepipe coming out on the outside quickly. Boom. Nice and sunny out today. So it's coming out here. Of course, I didn't get to paint it because I can't paint both sides of a sheet of metal. But anyway, where is the sun? Yeah, it's right there. Hold on. I know it's absurdly long. But I'm trying to not have too much ash falling on the trailer. Here you go, if you want to see it better. So it comes out like this. And for a mock-up, I think it's pretty good. Of course, in the future, I'm going to have a proper stove done and organized, and I'm going to poke a hole right here to have the chimney coming right beside the door, and I'm going to have a shield, because this of course comes really hot and you don't want to touch it. So here you go. Boom.